Alright, so we're doing another all signs reading. The last one was pretty good. So let's see. Okay. Current energy for the collective. What are y'all up to? A lot of trouble, perhaps. I'm just kidding. So let's see. I guess I shouldn't joke about that when I'm the tarot reader. But you know, I'll joke about whatever I want, to be honest. I'm hilarious. So what do the people need to know? Okay. Deep cellular healing. Arcturus energy. Physical and emotional healing. I like this. Perspective. None of this matters. Zoom out. Common ground. So I feel like this is asking you to not, like, while you're healing, to get into the mindset of, like, not taking life too seriously, right? If any of you have ever read, like, Dante's Inferno, Paradiso, and The Divine Comedy, you know, inevitably, it's all kind of, like, not meant to be taken seriously. It's, you know, that's the whole point of all this, is to, like, be able to laugh at life and learn from life. If you catch life, or if you catch yourself taking life way too seriously, remember where the fuck you are, right? And I think that's exactly why they have this imagery, right? Earth is just a little fucking dot in the middle of fucking nowhere, okay? And so it's like, you can sit there and worry about your stressful little human life, or you can just realize it's just a human life. It's not something to be taken too fucking seriously. Don't get caught in that trap. People really fucking care out here. It's hilarious. Taking themselves seriously is more of a joke to me than, like, taking life seriously, right? But whatever, let's continue. You guys are probably like, this nihilist. No, I'm an absurdist. Get it right. I know where I stand. It's all absurd. So why not be a little absurd with it, you know? Don't take anything too seriously. Especially anything in regards to this life. Like, it's all just spinning around on a rock. One card. The Star in reverse. It's an interesting card to get first, considering your healing, but this could be part of the healing, right? This is like, I feel like the thing that you're healing from is like this sense of like hopelessness or being trapped in like a dark world, right? Like, I feel like your mindset is shifting. Let's see more. Also, we're in the season of Aquarius, during the age of Aquarius. So, I mean, probably you could have Aquarius in your chart somewhere. So, you know, that could be part of it. But I feel like your past energy right now, no matter how far in the past it was, it feels like there wasn't a lot of hope, or you felt kind of like things aren't, like you didn't think that things would turn out a certain way or whatever. We'll dive deeper. Yeah, Five of Wands, conflict, competition, chaos. You know, like the mountains in the background talk about like going through a lot, right? And this, you know, whether it's conflict with others or just conflict within yourself, I feel like that's, you know, with the star in reverse, it's like that's why you didn't have a lot of faith in something, or like didn't have a lot of faith in better outcomes. It's kind of like you were just getting more and more of this, and you're like, what the fuck, life? It's like this hopelessness. I almost feel like depression vibes with the star in reverse, like not being able to see the light in the darkness. A potential for like even suicidal thoughts, those kinds of things, intrusive thoughts. Then we have the World in reverse. This tells me that the cycle may not be completely closed out, or there might still be like some of this energy. It's like it's kind of like getting stuck in a karmic loop, and you were just like, how the fuck do I get out of here? You have to realize it's not a circle, it's a spiral. Okay. So spirals eventually leave that loop, you know. Circles don't. So you just got to change your perspective. You're not living in a circle, you're living in a spiral. You might see some commonalities. You might, you know, meet people in different energies or whatever that remind you of whatever. But ultimately, it's up to you to relive certain outcomes. There's also like trauma that I feel like, okay, this kind of reminds me of the Four Agreements. Because it talks about in the Four Agreements how humans are the only animal on the entire planet that like get punished more than once for a mistake, right? It's like if one monkey steals a banana from another monkey, that monkey might get beaten up, you know, but they're not gonna like relive it. They're not gonna create like this constant thought loop that brings them right back to that, to where they have to experience it over and over, right? Humans are different. Humans, it's like one bad thing, like you could have an entirely great epic day, right? One fucking bad thing happens because I say we, I ain't human, don't get it, but you know, like humans have like this negative bias, right? So if one bad thing happens amidst all these great things that happen in a day, the human's gonna focus on the one fucking shitty thing and completely negate any good that happened, right? And that's kind of what I'm seeing here. It's almost like if you have experienced trauma or gossip, drama, whatever, conflict, chaos, arguments, whatever the fuck. It's like, it's up to you to choose to relive it over and over or to not, right? The negative bias in your brain, as part of your ego, will tell you, we must relive this. And then it will put you in a fight or flight mindset, which will raise your cortisol levels. And once your cortisol levels are raised, that creates stress on your heart and on your brain. And it's actually the #1 killer in the world. So, it's stress is more dangerous than cigarettes, so it's kind of like saying that you need to get out of the cycle of, and I know that's easier said than done. So let me give you a little tip on how I've done this, because, I'm coming from a place of, like, knowing what this is like. Thought stopping, right? It's where you start getting those intrusive thoughts, they start creeping in, and then instead of entertaining it, instead of paying attention to it and letting it take you down the rabbit hole, you get out of your head, right? So, I don't remember exactly I know there's, everyone has a different way that they word this, but for me, personally, I think of 5 things I can see. And I direct all my attention to 5 things I can see. Then 4 things I can feel, right? You gotta get your senses into it, right? Because when you're actively doing something else, your brain will naturally get you off that train, right? And then 3 things you can smell, right? Hopefully it's not gross, but it might help distract you if it is. I don't know. Then it's, where am I? 2 things you can hear, right? Music is good, but try to choose music that's not in alignment with your thought process, right? Happy music. And then, like, 1 thing you can taste, right? But don't use food as, like, a comfort thing either in, like, a negative way, right? So, like, it's just to, like, get you out of your head. And honestly, like, yeah, I've had days where, like, my brain just wouldn't stop. It would just, like, go back and go back and go back. And then I'd have to go hang out with the cats. Or, I'd go on a walk and or I'd go hang out with a friend, do something to distract me, to get me out of that. And then I've made, conscious decisions to not talk about it, right? Because when you talk about it, you're reliving it again. You're thinking about it again. It's plaguing you again. So, and I'm sure there's a lot of methods you could look up online about how to, like, stop intrusive thoughts. These are just some methods that have worked for me. Honestly, music is a big one, because, if I'm feeling like absolute dog shit, I'm gonna put on, like, All Star, or I'm a Believer, some Smash Mouth, or, something happy, Mr. Blue Sky. I'll put on something that's going to pull me into a different energy, right? Because, frequency is amazing. You change the frequency around you, and it can alter the frequency within you. So, like, that's why when people get mad and angry, and they're like, I'm gonna listen to mad and angry music, they just get more mad and angry. The cortisol levels are up to here, dog. And it's like when you're depressed, and then you just listen to more depressing music. Like, I listen to Lil Peep when I'm happy, okay? I listen to Asking Alexandria when I'm thrilled. I listen, and it's kind of like those things. You have to decide what your vibe is. Decide your vibe. That's what I should name this. Decide your vibe. But it's like, you know, and bright colors. Bright colors help too, you know. Cool colors. So, you know, even just sitting there, like, if you sit and decide to meditate, look at something blue or green. Something that connects you to water or your heart chakra, right? The heart chakra is always green because the heart of the earth is green, right? It's the trees. But anyway, you know, so it's like we using like our senses to pull us out of our ego can really be beneficial. Also, watch any Joe Dispenza video ever, right? He's this neuroscientist, and he wrote this thing. It's like breaking the habit of being yourself, change your mind, change your life, kind of shit, you know. And it's true though. Like there's certain habits that we create, and we don't stop them. We just like let these thoughts kind of like fucking run rampant in our brains. And it's like, you need to learn how to like master that shit. You know, be the master of your own head. You know, like, who the fuck is piloting this thing anyway? You know, it's like, you can't let it run you. And ultimately, when you get that shift of power, it will change your confidence, you know? When you're like, wait a second, I have the power to think about what I want to think about. So, you know, it's like, think about what you want. Focus on that shit. Alright, I'll pull more cards. This just started out pretty intense, right? And so I feel like, you know, even in that changing your perspective, zooming out and realizing, like, none of it matters, right? And not to say, like, not to invalidate you or anything like that. It's just, what it's doing is hurting you worse if you stay stuck in these thought loops, right? It's not making it better to think about it, right? It's not making it better to continue hurting your own feelings. It's like, I made this post recently, and I was like, well, I reposted it. It was like one of my memories on Facebook. But, yeah, and I'd written, that, like, oh, how did I put it? Fuck. It was, let me go back to my thought process. See, now I'm too good at losing my thoughts. Fucking, oh my gosh, what was it? God dang it. Stinky brain. Bring it back. I'll remember in a second. But basically, oh my gosh, whatever. It'll come back. And then I'm gonna be mad because it'll probably be after the video. No, but yeah, basically though, it's like, oh, that's what it was. It was that, like, it's not crazy to talk to yourself. It's crazy to make an enemy of yourself, right? And if you're beating yourself up with your own fucking thoughts, that's what's fucking crazy, right? And that's something that, like, we have to realize. Because unless we identify it as that, we're not going to change it. We're not going to evolve out of it, right? Evolution sometimes is a choice, right? Sometimes it's a choice. We can choose to be who our, like, pre-programming tells us we should be, or we could be like, you know what? I'm going to be the dopest fucking version of myself ever. And people are going to either love it or hate it. I don't give a fuck. And having that indifference, too. Like, it's good to have indifference about whether you're liked or disliked, right? I know a lot of people are like, oh, well, it's nice to feel liked. Yeah, well, then you're creating a need for validation in another person. And you don't need that, right? You don't need it. So, like, take compliments and insults with the same energy, with a grain of salt. And I know that's hard, right? Because compliments are nice, insults are fucked up, right? But change your narrative on that, right? It's all of it is somebody else's perspective, and none of it can actually speak for you as a person. You know, like how you feel about you as a person, or, you know, those kinds of things. So take it with a grain of salt. Either way, it's somebody else's perspective. It's somebody else's opinion about you, and it does not matter. It does not matter. What matters is your opinion of you. We have the Page of Cups, with the Queen of Wands in reverse. You might, like, it's interesting. Page of Cups is like a love offer, right? Or like, and as I see, this is a feminine coming in, right? It's like a love offer or some kind of offer here. It's something based in emotions. With the Queen of Wands in reverse, though, this is where it gets interesting. Because it's like, there's something that they're not being honest about. And with the King of Pentacles in reverse, this is why you let it go, right? This is why you don't have any interest in taking up this offer, right? Because the way I see the King of Pentacles is he's always holding something, right? And the pentacle represents like an offer or opportunity or whatever. And with it being in reverse, it's like letting it go. Because I'm seeing you show up more in the King of Pentacles in reverse energy than the Queen of Wands in reverse. But, you know, take it as it resonates. Could be flip-flopped. And gender really has nothing to do with tarot, right? The feminine and masculine in tarot literally only means, like, the difference between the left and right side of your brain, right? The creative, artistic, spiritual side versus, like, the business, mathematics, scientific, logic, reasoning side. You know, it's like, so we have both. All of us. We have both. And what we lean more towards, it can vary from day to day, right? And so, but what I'm really seeing here with the Queen of Wands in reverse, King of Pentacles in reverse, it's like you're not interested in what they have to offer, right? Because you feel like they're just full of shit or inauthentic. Perhaps they have a lot of, like, drama, or they're just, like, I don't know. But it seems like you have a lack of interest in this person. Could be a fire sign, Leo, Sagittarius, Aries. But honestly, I don't see that either. I just... Because we've also got the King of Pentacles in reverse, which would indicate that you could have, like, Virgo, Taurus, or Capricorn in your chart, right? So it's like, but I don't feel like that's what really fucking matters in this reading, though. It's not about the zodiacs. It's about the energy of the cards themselves. And I feel like you're rejecting somebody because you don't feel like they're right for you, or you don't feel like they're authentic with you. You feel like they lie to you. That's fair. That could be where the conflict is coming from, too. And with the World in reverse, it's like, I feel like Perhaps you haven't closed out the cycle completely yet, but I see you in the energy of like wanting to, of getting there. But it's almost like, I feel like right when you get close, that's when they come and they love bomb you, right? Right when you're finally like fed the fuck up, then they love bomb you. And so you kind of get stuck in like this like really toxic cycle, honestly. And you're like, well, what is true? The love bombing or the drama and the lies and the conflict? All of it. Because love bombing is actually a narcissistic tactic. So it's all true. It's all true. You're dealing with a narcissist. So love bombing is a defense mechanism, right? It's to maintain control and power, right? Because that's really what the Queen of Wands in reverse is about. They want power and control, and they want everyone at their beck and call, right? This is not like a good person. I hate saying that, you know, but it's just, it's somebody whose like intentions do not align with integrity, you know? So, let's see. This is so confusing. Because now we have the opposite energy showing up, right? Now we have the Queen of Cups. Queen of Cups is the opposite of the Queen of Wands in reverse, right? Queen of Wands in reverse is a drama queen, right? It's really fucking negative, really narcissistic, really like domineering. And then Queen of Cups is the Queen of Love, right? Authentic love, though. This is compassion and nurturing and forgiving and very in tune with their emotions, right? Very mature. So this is interesting. It's on, and with the Fool card showing up here, I feel like you're gonna take a leap of faith on somebody new. Or you're gonna like take a leap of faith going in a new direction, right? I'm seeing Alice go down the rabbit hole. So it's, and the Fool card is card 0, right? Card 0 represents ground zero of a whole new cycle, right? It's like after you've let go, and like, if you notice, the pentacles are circles, right? Like cycles. And that's another reason why I see like the imagery and I correlate that so much with like letting go of a cycle. And then you're entering into a new one. And perhaps it's because this energy is so different. Like this new person that's coming into your life or has come into your life. It's just very different, and it's causing you to have to reflect, right? It's causing you to reflect. It's causing you to be like, you know what? I kind of want to see what's going on in Wonderland. You know, I kind of want to go down this rabbit hole. I want to see, you know, where it leads. So, and honestly, if it pulls you away from like the conflict and the chaos and the bullshit and all that, it could be really nice. You know what I'm seeing though? Right? Seeing Alice go down the rabbit hole. The Queen of Wands in her reverse is like the Red Queen. You know? The Red Queen, the off with her head. Right? That's what I'm seeing. It was funny. you're catching feelings for somebody new. And I think that's also something that you need to, like, take accountability for in some way, too. Because the Queen of Wands in reverse has always been that, right? Has always been that. That's what you expect from them. That's what you know of them. And that's what you've accepted of them, to be in this connection. And just because somebody new is entering, like, doesn't mean, like, that you didn't also choose that before, you know? And so I feel like it's kind of saying, like, don't compare, you know, don't compare one to another. Don't, like, you know, like, just because one may come off in a different kind of energy or whatever, it's like, still recognize that you did choose that in the past, right? You were open and receptive to that energy, into the love bombing, into the shit, you know? Five of Swords. Conflict. But this is also the energy of disarming the enemy, right? That's what I really see with the Five of Swords. You see his enemies are off, you know, being distracted, and he's just, like, sneaking by, picking up all the fucking swords, like, you ain't gonna stab me, bitch, right? So you could be in the energy of, like, disarming the enemy a little bit. And it's weird that you would see this person as the enemy. But, you know, it's just what it is. With the Five of Wands showing up, I see why. Conflict, chaos. They might even try to compete with you for, like, power dynamics, you know? You're not going to get that same shit with the Queen of Cups. But yeah, it's like disarming the enemy. It's like taking away all their weapons. Not giving them the power to destroy you. Really. It's like taking away their power to destroy you. And realizing that you gave it to them in the first place. You know? Four of Swords in reverse. It showed up in the last reading. Not able to relax. All up in your head. All stressed out. Now that's why it's hard to get out of these thoughts. These, like, ruminating thoughts and all this. You know, it's because you're literally living it. It's literally, like, present tense. You're dealing with these people. Okay. Like, it would be a lot easier out of sight, out of mind, right? Well, get out of sight. There's this song. It's called, I think it's called Out of Sight by Chelu. It's like Chelou. And he's like saying, out of sight, I'll be forgiven. Under the something I'm forced to break. I'm trying to be someone, but I don't know, but I don't even know what that means. Yeah, I don't know. Look up the song. It's really good. Like, I can't even get the tune in my head right, but I know, like, some of the lyrics. You need to get out of sight. You need to step away from this, whatever the fuck. There's no hope in it. The first card. Oh my god, that's hilarious. The first card was the Star card in reverse. No hope. No light in this darkness. Give up. No. So, certain people you should give up on, right? Like, come on, let's be real. Certain people deserve to be given up on. And that's totally fine. What's your advice? Hold on to your heart. Hold it high above the waters. Hold on to your heart. Never let nobody drag it under. Ever drag it under. Yeah, that's what I'm hearing. Hold on to your heart. Nine of Wands tells me you're hurt. You're defensive about your heart. You're trying to protect yourself, right? Ace of Pentacles. A new opportunity will open up for you. When you see a door open, walk through it, okay? With the Ace of Pentacles, this is like, it could be a new job or like a new opportunity, but more than anything, I'm seeing a new cycle, right? I'm seeing the circle again, cycles, circles. So there's going to be a new opportunity that will help you with moving on to the next cycle, right? Going back to that Fool card. I'm going to put this here on the side because that's what this is about. This is about breaking Stockholm Syndrome and moving on, moving forward. I'm going to put this over here with it too. Telling you to move on. It's your advice. It's the hardest advice. But there will be a new door of opportunity for you to help you move forward. And also, if you need an emotional, like somebody to help pull you out of this karmic cycle, that's also going to happen, right? Somebody's going to be here to help pull you out of it. I just noticed. She's got rabbit ears on, right? Alice is following the rabbit. So it's like, this Page of Cups could be the Queen of Cups. This offer or opportunity could be coming from somebody completely different. And this could be helping to, like, pull you in a new direction, right? Like, the Lovers. I feel like that's prominent in this too, because I feel like you're learning a lesson in love. I feel like you're learning something out of this. What is love? What does it look like? What does it feel like? Well, you just experienced what it doesn't feel like. And sometimes that helps us learn how to love better. You know, when we experience the alternative, right? You experience psychological, physical abuse, you know, and you experience all the possessiveness, the jealousy, the obsession, the bullshit, the toxic shit. You become disillusioned by it, right? And like, there's not even, like, it's no longer attractive, right? To, like, fucking suffer like that for nothing, right? For nothing. Like, it can be honorable to suffer for things, right? This, no, that's not. You're dishonoring yourself. Yeah, you know, like, when you entertain these people that harm you, right? Like, I recently posted about how, like, our love is or our relationships are a reflection of our relationship with ourselves, right? So if somebody has a shit relationship with themselves, you're gonna have a shit relationship with them, right? And it's not because, like, oh, the only way that you're worthy of love is because, you know, you love yourself. That's not what it's about. If you're not able to love yourself, you will attract people who are unable to love you. If you are not able to, like, feel confident in yourself, you will attract people who don't feel confident in you at all, right? It's like this is where energy attracts like energy, right? And that's why it's important to have a solid relationship with yourself, right? Know thyself. That's the most important shit. Know thyself. And you'll catch yourself gravitating towards these people who are fucking strong and independent and empowering and empowered, right? It's like, I know from experience, like, people that are entering in my life now, they're just fucking powerful as fuck. They have excellent, you know, love for themselves, love for others, like, but it wasn't like I just found these people, right? It's like I had to become that energy for them to find me, you know, because, like, before it was just like, you know, I just met a lot of people who did not love me, right? Or wanted to, like, you know, ruin whatever, you know, like, people would sabotage me, saboteurs, you know, like, we all experience that, though, like, the shitty people, like, you know, not everybody from my past was shitty, but, like, you know, I attracted a lot of that, especially in relationships, you know, before I learned to have a solid fucking relationship with myself. And now it's like trying to have a relationship with anybody else is hard. I'm like, man, I've been investing so much into myself. I don't even know if I have the energy or time for other people. Like, totally, you know, it is what it is. Let's see. If you're unsure of yourself, you'll just attract people who are unsure of you. Yep. The Empress in reverse. This goes back to that Queen of Wands in reverse. Letting go of the false twin flame. And not even. This was a karmic. Right? This is like somebody who brought a lot of chaos and conflict, insecurity, pain, struggle. Blocked your creativity. Made you feel like shit. So it's kind of like also you're letting go of this person, right? Because if you think of the Empress, right? The Empress in the upright is very similar to the Queen of Cups, right? Very, like, mature, compassionate, loving, you know, all these things. And then with the Empress in reverse, it's the opposite. It goes back to that Queen of Wands in reverse, right? It's like drama, conflict, immaturity, inability to, like, fucking have a healthy connection, right? It's very opposite of, you know, what you're seeking. It's the opposite of what you're seeking, right? And sometimes that's where we need to realize some people may be fucking beautiful on the outside and have garbage for hearts, right? And then some people could be, like, mediocre on the outside and have a heart of, like, pure gold, right? It's like, and I don't even like saying mediocre because I feel like people who have beautiful hearts, like, it shows through. no matter what. Like, but also it's because, like, I'm one of those people. I see people by their soul. I'm not looking at, like, their flesh self, the skin that they're wearing. It's like, that's barely a fraction of 1% of what you actually are, right? Like, due to electron repulsion, we're like 99.9999999% energy, right? And so when you start paying attention to people's energy, rather than this, that's gonna fade, that's gonna decay, that's gonna like whatever, like fuck all this. It ain't about all this. It's about all this. You know, it's about all this. Can you fucking carry a conversation with this person till the end of the world? You know, like, is this somebody that you want in your energy, right? Or does this person just fucking hurt you? Like, what is it? What is it? I feel like you're having to make some big decisions though, based on your worth. Alright? And right now, you have to ask yourself, what are you worthy of? Because what you are worthy of is ultimately what you accept. Right? And I hate saying that too, because some people are like, what? But because nobody else decides our worth for us. We do. Right? We decide our worth. And so if somebody else is like, you know, it goes back to not giving a fuck what people think, you know, and thinking about what you think, you know. Are you worthy of being treated well? Are you worthy of not being abused and lied to? Are you worthy of mutual respect and honor? Like, you know, ask yourself, really. Like, and then when you deal with people who just lie to you and put you through drama and make you feel like garbage all the time, like, ask yourself, am I worth this? Because this is what I'm accepting, and therefore I'm literally telling the world that I'm worth this. Or worthless, you know? And this is where you have to make that big decision for yourself where you're like, I decide my worth. Right? I deserve a queen or a king. You know, it's like, you know, it's like you have to really reach a mindset where you won't tolerate less than your worth, right? You won't put up with less than your worth. You would sooner die alone than be with somebody who is unworthy of you. Understand, rubber band? Like, change the narrative, right? Because it's no longer about, like, them and how they act. It's about how you're allowing them to treat you. What you are accepting. Are you worth that? Fuck, I forgot what I was gonna call this video. Gosh dang it, now I'm gonna have to rewatch it. It was a good one. Eight of Swords in reverse tells me you're seeing things pretty fucking clearly now. Your eyes is opened. Reality's setting in. I love that. Six of Cups in reverse tells me the thing you're really seeing is somebody who's not from your past, though. Right? Six of Cups is all about somebody from your past. Six of Cups in reverse is letting go of someone in your past. Or it's focusing on somebody that you don't have a past with, right? Clarify. See, that's what I'm talking about. Right there, okay? I'm saying. Okay? Think fuck. 7 of Swords in reverse. You're done with people who lie, cheat, and steal. People with no integrity. People who are not worthy of you. And then, this is leading to the 10 of Cups. Right? This is emotional fulfillment, abundance, happiness, feeling at peace with life, feeling like you fucking finally got it all in order. You got the shit that you want, the right people. It's awesome. Right? Now I see a whole bunny, or a whole family of bunnies, you know? And it's kind of like the 10 of Cups is having your tribe, right? Feeling so, like, fulfilled and, like, you know? But, like, you wouldn't get that if you didn't take this leap of faith. If you didn't, like, choose to go down the rabbit hole. If you didn't, like, do the scary thing, right? Because it is the scary thing to walk away from the familiar and the comfortable shit, you know? But, like, one of my last bosses told me, and this is, like, something that, like, resonates so fucking hard with me. I probably should get it tattooed on me, but I won't. But it says, your life begins where your comfort zone ends. Right? If you stay where you're comfortable, you'll never know what excitement and joy and fulfillment is, right? You have to do the risky shit. You gotta do the things that make you a little fucking nervous, you know, like, you know, there's so many leaps, like, you know, you might be like, well, fuck, how am I gonna figure out life, you know, all my life has been tied to this other person for so long. Well, guess what, chicken butt? You'll figure it out. And you'll have other people there to help you with the 10 of Cups. You have a tribe. You need to find them. But you don't need to be enslaved by somebody who pretends to love you. Right? Because that's not love that you've experienced. It's abuse. And it's fucked up. So I'm going to grab some Kali cards. See what the Kali deck has to say. But, like, yeah, dog, I just feel like there's a lot of shit that you're moving away from. And now that you're starting to see your worth, now that you're starting to see things for what it is, ask yourself, with any potential partner, are they worthy of me? Right? And don't be afraid to be like, no. You know? Like, don't be afraid to be like, fuck that. You know? Like, be completely honest with yourself, right? Because it's not about lust. It's not about what they can do for you. It's about how you feel with them. You know? And if you don't feel fucking great with them, what are you doing? Wasting your time. Wasting their time, right? Because obviously they're not happy either. You know? You know, I once heard this quote that says, let people do what they want and then see what they want to do. And if what they want to do is to lie and cheat and steal or, you know, be not with you, right? Then, and they show that through their actions and their behaviors, then, like, let them do what they want. And you find somebody else or something else, right? You do what you want, but without them, you know? It's like, because people will always show you what they want, right? They'll always demonstrate that for you. And it's up to us to, like, realize it. We can't force people to want us. We can't force people to love us. And it would be fucking insanity to even try. Insanity. And the more you try to make somebody love you, the further away you are from them ever actually loving you. That's the hardest. It's paradox. It's paradox. Sri Bala. Commit entirely and without hesitation to your most passionate inspirations. Their genius and wisdom in what you yearn to do. You have a greater capacity to attain fruition than those around you may recognize. Believe in yourself, even if no one else does. It is not imagination that drives you toward your destiny, but the instinctive recognition of your true purpose. Yuga Shakti. We may yearn for circumstances to unfold according to our personal preferences, yet to trust in divine timing alleviates stress and fosters a more peaceful relationship with the universe. Even the right thing cannot attain fruition at the wrong time. A negative cycle is due to end, and a new dawn shall arise. So take that. Take it and go. Alright, yeah, so that's pretty much what I have for you. Namaste, I love you guys, and I hope this was helpful. See you later.